And this food pantry is mostly empty space. There's barely anything here. Here's a whole empty shelf over here. Yeah. There's barely anything here at all. And most of it like isn't on my diet. There's like nothing here. The person in charge of this is lying about it, saying there's plenty here. Here's some evidence to the contrary. Look at this. Look at this. Nothing there. Definitely not enough there. That is absurd. This person who's lying is doing so to spite me by not adding anything. And I was without my food stamps for months because it took too long to get a replacement card and nothing was added. And a bunch of stuff that was expired has since been removed, and now there's even less here. So at least I have some evidence here that we have empty shelves, you know. Look at this. Unbelievable. All right. What? And this is the mailman who threatened to assault me. I made it clear that I wasn't yelling at him. I didn't notice the volume of my voice. When I mentioned my difficulty controlling the volume of my voice, he threatened to control it for me. This person, who's much larger than me, thinks that he's brave for threatening to assault a disabled person. He figures he'll always get away with it, like he's immune. He wouldn't tell me his name. I've heard his name is Milton. I need more than just that. I need his full name, and I need to be certain. I've reported him, and I've been dodged. I've been trying to acquire the footage from the cameras at this apartment, and I haven't been given the footage. Both of the companies who have anything to do with this apartment are dodging me, and that's him, the person who threatened to assault a disabled person and then cowered. A person working here had to tell him that she doesn't control me. I'm a grown man. This guy has got to go. This unqualified staff member of Continuum of Care is guilty of a violation by befriending a mailman who threatened to assault me. Instead of protecting residents from violent criminals, she's over here fraternizing with Milton Jackson, who threatened to control my voice for me. I made it clear I wasn't yelling at him. I have difficulty controlling the volume of my voice. He threatened to control it for me. He asked someone working here if she controls me. She told him I'm a grown man. He thinks it makes him brave to threaten to assault a disabled person. He wouldn't tell me his name initially. I've just recently learned that his name is Milton Jackson. I've reported him to the post office, and nobody working there is cooperating with me. And this person who works for this agency, Continuum of Care, is over here being friendly with him. That's yet another violation. When they vow revenge, they mean it. This company is a scam, and if I could choose where to reside, I would move out of here. This place is terrible. For lack of a better expression, it's like paying the devil rent for living in hell. Look at this. This guy threatened me, and this person who gets paid for nothing is over here being friendly with him. She gets an easy paycheck for nothing, and when she gets called out for being unqualified, she goes retaliating by befriending this violent criminal who threatened me.
Thank you for helping me.
Criminally negligent conservator of estate, attorney Katrina Camara, didn't return my calls when I was harassed. She threatened to call the cops on me instead of the person harassing me. I was terrified. If she had returned my call the first time, I wouldn't have to call a second time. I was flabbergasted that she got that extreme with her criminal negligence. My life is in her hands and she doesn't care. Because she has my money, if I needed any necessities, I would presumably have to call her office since my case manager at the time, Matt Quinn, wouldn't do his job. I had holes in my shoes because I walk a lot. And I was like, I'm not trying to wear worn out shoes. I was terrified to call the conservator because she threatened to call the cops on me instead of the person harassing me. Now that authentic medical necessity is legally prescribed to me, there's no legal justification to accuse me of abuse. And the misdiagnoses from the past have since been debunked. Dr. John A. Nazarian finally stopped retaliating. He's less likely to get away with it now. He lied about why I reported him. It had nothing to do with what he didn't prescribe. I reported him for inflicting brutality upon me by forcibly drugging me. He didn't allow recovery. I went elsewhere to properly taper off of pharmaceuticals. I didn't report that he didn't prescribe what I wanted him to prescribe. I should have been discharged from community mental health affiliates and sent elsewhere long before I was. I should have been prescribed medicinal cannabis instantly when it was legalized in Connecticut in 2012. I can safely call out a corrupt social worker, Sarah Carlson Alwood. She probably won't retaliate because it's not like she could get away with it anymore. I finally am prescribed medicinal cannabis to treat post-traumatic stress disorder, so it's not like Sarah Carlson Alwood would be able to do anything about it. She misdiagnosed autism and post-traumatic stress disorder as schizoaffective bipolar disorder. I made it clear that a lot of trauma was caused by prescription drugs forced upon me, that every involuntary admission exacerbated post-traumatic stress disorder. Nothing about the PTSD or the autism was mentioned in the intake assessment. Throughout the intake, that was most of the subject matter, and I made it clear that medicinal cannabis was how I recovered while being forced to take prescription drugs. I was either inflicted while taking them or inflicted while withdrawing from them due to them not being tapered properly at the time. And Sarah Carlson Alwood lied in the intake assessment. I was misquoted. She recommended long-term commitment at Connecticut Valley Hospital. Unsanitary conditions and all, terrible place, lots of abuse, lots of torture. That's what she recommended. This person should be in some legal trouble. Medicinal cannabis is legal now.